Hey everyone, welcome back to an episode of Planet Coaster 2 here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Update 6 and really more broadly all of the updates thus far, because I can tell you when I hopped in to check it out and just play the game, it really feels like a proper game now. I found myself enjoying the game a lot more than in previous goes. I've just felt like it was lacking in a lot of areas, and I think they've done a phenomenal job of buttoning things up. And I'm sure everyone has a differing opinion on this, but I'm at a point where I'm ready for DLC. I'm ready to see what new things they have in store for us going forward. But I'm not going to go through all of the scenery pieces and all that kind of stuff. I will point out some ones that I'm most excited about. But I thought we'd start here with just some things that I've been working on just off and on, odds and ends. I'm not ready to start a full project yet. I'm still working on Tivoli Zoo and Planet Zoo and want to finish that project. But I have been dabbling in this, just building things that I know eventually I will use in a project. And it's, this game is so phenomenal because I can copy and save all of this as a blueprint, including the paths. It's just awesome. So it makes it really easy to do this kind of a thing. So this is all base game stuff, very generic. Working on a little food area here. But what I've been inspired to do for a long time is build something that is more of like a kiddie area inspired by Camp Snoopy and Knott's Berry Farm. That area, if you've ever been there, is so well designed and so well themed that this felt like, and one of the pieces I've really been missing to do that is the fantasy, I think it's called rough brick or rough stone. We'll look at it here when I pop open the menu. But let me go ahead and drop down into the free look here, or first person. Okay, so this giant coaster is just a blueprint from the workshop. I wanted it for just one little specific scene, and then also to show off the ride photo update, which I think is really, really cool. So we'll check that out once we're done. Once we're done over here looking at this little area that I've started to work on. So again, heavily inspired by Camp Snoopy in Knott's Berry Farm. It is not, a direct one-to-one of that, but definitely taking cues from it. It's one of the areas that I think is really, really well done in Knott's Berry Farm. So we have the gift shop in here, which we will be showing some of the features of that. I think that's also going to be a really, really awesome addition. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and jump in there. So right off the bat, you can see this. Oh, I hate that it does that. I want it to just pop me out of the camera where I am. All right, so I'm going to pause this because that coaster is super distracting. Okay, so this is these lime plaster chimney, and then this piece in particular, the rough brick wall set from the fantasy collection, is something that is really, really versatile, and I've been waiting for. We had a similar type of set inside of Planet Zoo, and so that's something that really needed to have in order to do all this. I mean, I could have made a little custom wall set out of the scalable rocks and all that kind of stuff. But what I found, and the reason why I think I've been hesitant to really jump into the game, is I don't mind detailing and I don't mind making custom buildings and custom pieces and things like that. But I don't want to make like custom things to make custom things out of, if that makes sense. So like, I don't want to make a ton of custom little pieces just to make the custom project. And so one, that there's more, the fact that there's more pieces in the game is really helpful, and it's made me enjoy playing more. And two, there's so many great things on the workshop already, like this sign here. I can't recall the author off the top of my head. I'll pop it up on the screen here, so we give them credit. But it was someone on Mineral's last video that he used like a ton of stuff from his workshop, and yeah, everything on there is incredible. So I will make sure to post the link to that down below. But I'm really happy with how this little area is fleshing out here. I did not have time to finish it, obviously, but going for like a little garden theme here. So like this is the honeybee, this will be the grasshopper. I wish we had the balloon ride in the game already, because I would put that up there. That's exactly what Knott's Berry Farm has. I think it would be great. And then a little family train here, which this station I also did not have time to finish, but it's pretty much a direct replica of what they have at Knott's in Camp Snoopy at Knott's in California. So one of the things that I also love, this is not necessarily relevant to update 6 at all, but it's the fact that we don't have those giant bollards anymore on the queues, because it makes things like this possible. Like I don't think we have any guests that are going to be. Yeah, no one's coming anytime soon. But this is the actual entrance to the ride queue, which I think is so awesome to be able to just kind of tuck these into an actual building here. It doesn't look like a huge, impressive entrance. It's just more about utilizing the space and making it functional, which I really, really like. So, all right, let's go ahead and check out the interior here. Definitely could have done more detailing in this, but again, lack of time. I only had a couple of days to work on all of this. But I do want to show how all of these work. So you can plop down these counters, and it was a little bit confusing at first, honestly, when you pop it down. So if you started, which what I did, I started by putting out the shelves that I wanted, and then I tried to add a shop. Well, there's no way to. It's weird how it works. Like if you plop down the shop first, then you can go in and add. Let me just show you. Let's see if I can do it. All right, so no shelves connected. So it's tricky to find. So if you would have, let's just say, already placed all your shelves and then you put in the souvenir shop, you have to go to the connections tab here, and then you would connect existing, and then you can go around and click on the various shelves that you want to connect to this store. So in here I have 2, and I've connected randomly just variations of these shelves to each of them, so that hopefully when peeps do come in the store, they'll use both countertops, trying to create a little more realism there. But if you already have placed the stuff, this is where you have to go to connect them. If you have not, then when you first plop it down, you can go to add shelves, and it's going to give you all of your options here, and you can just start adding them. And what's nice is that it's going to auto populate the shelves with stuff for you. So let's do. One thing I don't like is there's no advanced move here. You can't do advanced move like this. So what you have to do if you want to do advanced move is you have to multi-select. So now you can use the advanced move tool, but that's not helpful if you, or I guess once you're in the building mode, then you can do a single item. But if they're inside of a building, so like this is an individual scenery piece, but if they're inside of a building, like if you've put them all in one collection like this, you aren't able to individually move them unless you do the multi-select. So that's something that I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's like a bug or if it's just something that needs to be cleaned up a little bit in a future update. Or maybe it's only an issue for me. I don't know. But either way, I'm really excited to see what kind of creative stuff people do. This is obviously a feature that was available in Planet Zoo, and one that I really loved. Tivoli Zoo has 2 working gift shops in the zoo, and chock full of this kind of stuff where the peeps actually walk in and use the store. So the other cool thing you can do is obviously you don't have to have anything on here, so you can have no merchandise on there, and you can put some custom things on there if you want to do things that are a little more tailored to your park. Like if you don't want to have Gulpy and King Coaster and all that kind of stuff, you can put in your own little bits and bobs. That was another cool thing in the Planet Zoo community, is seeing the stuff that people came up with. Ricey did some incredible things for for Tivoli Zoo on that front, and really added to the charm and character of the individual project. So all that's available. Also, let's see, I can't remember what tab they are in. I want to say, are they in the facilities? No, it's still scenery. Props, I believe. Yeah, shop decorations. So props, shop decorations, and all of these scenery items are available as individual pieces too. You can also scale them. So you can see I did that with the King Coaster plushie here. I have different sizes of him kind of scattered around. It's also nice that the shirts are on hangers are available as individual pieces, because you can, I didn't put any sort of like hangers here, but you could have had brackets coming off the wall. You could even create your own kind of slat wall design inside of these stores and hang the stuff off of that to give yourself some more realism. So I would have loved to have spent more time on this, making it look like a legit retail gift shop, but yeah, really happy with overall how this area is turning out. And again, this won't be the final position of this. You can see this is my file that I'm just testing a bunch of things in. This is that entrance that I created for a potential Jubilee Gardens, and then some things I showed off in one of the other update videos. So I'll continue to work on all this stuff, and eventually it will make its way into a final project. The other thing I wanted to show off here is, come this way, and here, let's go back into this view. I really hate that you have to stay on the path in this peep view. I wish we could go anywhere we want. So here is the ride camera kiosk, and as you can tell, I did not have time to build a little. I was planning on building a little station. Dang it. Okay, back to it. So I was planning on building a little station and like an exit building where these would be displayed inside of there. You could even do a combination of having this inside of a gift shop. So if you wanted to have, like for instance, in No Name Landia and Planet Coaster 1, the Peregrine ride, that coaster, the exit path went through the gift shop. You could have had, it would have been awesome to have a working photo booth like this. So the way this works also, I think really, really well done, is you can add, so however many cars there are on the coaster train, it will give you the option when you come in here and choose. So if you want to, you have to edit it. So if you want to change the image, so it's going to give you, you select the ride photos. So you can either do the whole thing, right? So you might have a fourth screen where you would have just all of these, or you can have one screen for each car, which is what I've done here. So that's car 1, car 2, car 3. So if you had a train with 5 cars, you could have 5 screens, and then one, in the middle, showing the entire grouping. I also have seen in the past at parks and stuff where there's preview screens up front, right, where you can there's smaller screens closer where you can look at your individual picture closer. That's one incredible thing about this game, is the scaling. So you can make these as big or as small as you want, and put them wherever you want inside of an actual store. So the way that it works when you set the camera, though, here, we'll do that. So you click on the ride, and again, under add-ons, there's a photo kiosk counter, and then you can edit the camera placement. So here's where I have the camera placement at the bottom of this hill. Oh, and by the way, the reason I picked this coaster is because I wanted to create this little scene right here, where if you're sitting here having a nice drink, cooling off a little bit from the heat, waiting to explore the kiddie land, you can hear the coaster roar by and hear everyone having a great time on it. So I will definitely be I will be much more in tune of this kind of stuff in whatever project I end up tackling in Planet Coaster 2. To be honest, when I first started in Planet Coaster 1, I think my design knowledge was a lot less than it is today, and so I'm going to be focusing a lot more on this kind of attention to detail in whatever project I do in the future. Okay, so go back to edit placement. So one thing that's cool is you can see the scrolling here of where, kind of the excitement is the highest, the fear. You can kind of balance everything, right? So you don't want to put your ride camera, let's see where it's, so now the excitement's below 7, I could have done it in there, but you won't, don't put the ride camera on the upslope here, but then you can see all of a sudden you catch that airtime, and it might be worth putting one right down at the bottom of this hill too. So let's do that. Let's change it to there. So we'll do that. Now, what you can do, so here's your little floaty camera. So you'd have to, this is the only negative in my opinion, is there's not like a true scenery piece that's fixed to the coaster where, but you can always make one yourself. So it's really not a major issue in the long run. Plus most people would, this doesn't look exactly like the ones you would probably see in a real park. So most people are going to want to make their own anyway. So not a big deal, in my opinion, in the long run. Just would have been a little bit of a time saver, but probably would have been hard to implement, honestly. So here is how it currently would look. And you can see we can change the rotation there. Can bring it more in line on this side if we wanted to. Could go like this. So you can tweak it however you want. You can roll it, depending on where you want it to be. And then you can zoom out and zoom in. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want this to look. So then once you've done that, now we're not gonna have anyone here, but so it does reset the ride when you change the camera position. But now the next time it goes around, all of these screens will auto-populate with whatever pictures are taken, which is really impressive, honestly, that they got this to work. I mean, I think this is a phenomenal addition. This gives me hope that maybe at some point we might have something like Midway games. If they're able to figure out how to make this work, I'm really hopeful that that's something we might be able to get. I think that would be one of the most requested additions I've seen in the game in the future, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited and hopeful for DLC going forward. So overall, that's like I said, I'm not going to go through all the scenery pieces. I think the fantasy set, in my opinion, is better than the what did we get? The pirate set. The pirate set does have some nice things in there. My favorite stuff, honestly, in these, which I think will be really great for detailing, is planters. So if we just filter for, where is the prop sets? Nope, that's not it. The scenery thing. So we'll do fairy tale and pirate. So they do have some really nice, there's the skull and crossbones, but you can just hide that and then scale this. Scale that down a little bit. But so many parks have, these barrel planters in them, which is a really nice addition. And then even these are just so nice and generic for any project you're working on. And then you've got planters that can be attached to buildings, and things like that. So these are some of the things that I'm most excited for. And in terms of building sets, the windows are all really, really incredible. I mean, and just to be able to scale these is crazy awesome. I mean, I would have killed to be able to scale these pieces in my Paris project in Planet Coaster 1. Even this clock here, I think one of the issues with these two in the first game was they were just so big, and now you can scale them down to a much more manageable size and so much more useful too. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what everyone does with custom stuff. Oh, here's another one. This is an example of, like, I don't want to create the custom things to then make a custom design. Like having this kind of stuff in the game now, to be able to scale it too is phenomenal. I do hate the axis in this game, but yeah, to be able to have details like that instead of having to make one custom with little rectangles all across is a huge time saver and a welcome addition. These chimney sets, as you saw over here, are super useful, just to be able to create custom things like this little tower that I made here. So anyway, that's going to be it for my coverage of this update. Overall, like I said, I think the game feels like a proper game now. So if you are like me and you've been hesitant to fully jump into playing the game because it just felt unfinished in a lot of ways, I would encourage you to dip your feet back in. I think it really does feel like a proper game now. It makes me really excited to see what they're going to do in terms of DLC content going forward. And really, honestly impressed with Frontier for what they've been able to do. I mean, some people would say they don't deserve a pat on the back for, the bad launch and having really an unfinished game at launch, but compared to a lot of other developers that we're seeing out there today, not to specifically name some, but you all know who the worst offenders are. I do honestly appreciate their continued support for the game and dedication to getting it to the state that it's in today and doing it so quickly. Honestly, again, seeing what else is happening in the industry, they've really done a great job, and I think they deserve our accolades for that and deserve praise for that. So thank you to all the folks at Frontier for everything you've done to bring this game back to where it is now, and really make it something that I'm excited to play going forward and see what you do with next. So hope you all enjoyed the update, and looking forward, like I said, to seeing what everyone else does with all the new scenery pieces, and can't wait to experience where we go from here with the rest of you. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in another episode.